my name is Jessica, and I am a mom to three. And my third pregnancy, birth, and postpartum was a little more complicated than my other two pregnancies. And I just wanted to, document it and share if anybody else had any experiences with the conditions that I had, and what we found out about my son is that he was going to be born with a cleft lip and palate, and I found out that my heart condition that I thought I had was, I found out it was a little bit more complicated than I originally thought. So, if that interests you, if you, are going through a high-risk pregnancy, you have a cleft baby too, or you have a heart condition and you are, planning on getting pregnant or are currently pregnant, then I guess this is for you. But I just want to, I don't know how long this video is going to be, so it might be broke up into my pregnancy, then my birth, then my postpartum, because some stuff happened to me postpartum as well. So we'll just see how long it is, and if it's too long, then I guess you'll be seeing multiple videos. But to get started, me and my husband, we had two children previously, and we spaced them out 3 years apart. So it was coming up on 3 years, and we was planning on having another baby, and it all went smoothly. We got pregnant pretty fast, and I went to my prenatal appointments. This was during, where there was still a lot of restrictions with COVID for prenatal visits. So it was just me. I had to go to all my prenatal appointments all by myself. So the first couple prenatal visits, they went really good, and my midwife, she knew that I had a heart condition. I have a heart murmur, and she knew about that. So during my pregnancy, I had to, at 20 weeks, get an ultrasound with an MFM doctor and kind of get a more thorough ultrasound because of my heart condition. It can be passed to, it can be passed on. So we was excited about the 20-week ultrasound. We had already found out that we was having a boy. So I guess we was just wanting to confirm that, and we was a little nervous about whether or not he would have a heart condition too. So I guess that was the main thing that I was thinking about that morning was, I was just nervous to see him, and I just wanted to see if he was okay and that he was healthy and moving, and all the stuff that every mother worries about whenever she goes in for an ultrasound. But yeah, the ultrasound, it went really well, and his heart looked great, and I thought that everything was going great. I was trying to, I was wanting a ultrasound of his, a 3D picture of his face, because I had it with my other two, and I was wanting to see his little face and everything, and the ultrasound tech said that she couldn't get a picture. So she brought in another ultrasound tech, and she got the picture pretty quickly, and then they went on their way, and I still didn't get a picture of his face. The, one thing that I was wanting, but I was too shy to ask or anything like that. I just kind of like, oh well, I guess I guess I have, pictures of his profile. I had a pretty good picture of his profile. So I waited for the doctor to come in and to talk to me and everything. And the doctor came in. He had a piece of paper in his hand, and he told me that my son had a cleft lip and possible cleft palate. And I guess when any mom gets that news, it's hard news to hear, that anything's wrong with your baby. So ears were ringing and I couldn't really hear what he was saying. I had the paper, so I guess I had the information on paper. It's a good thing he gave me that. But yeah, I just wanted to get out of the room as fast as I could because I was by myself. And I just wanted to come to the car and tell my husband. But I got to the car and I called my husband, and I was sobbing, I was crying, and he probably thought the worst. All I could get out was that, our son was okay and everything like that. And I finally told him about his cleft lip, and I had to pick up my oldest son from school, so I waited in the pickup line, and I went online and I looked up all the cleft stuff, and I guess I got over the cleft diagnosis pretty quickly, looking at pictures of other babies. And like my son, they are the cutest little babies ever. I'm a Christian, so I relied on God a lot, and he got me and my husband through it. And we after that, I still hadn't seen his little face, so I didn't know what he looked like, how severe his cleft was, or anything like that. So about a month later, I had a ultrasound at our bigger hospital, and it's about an hour away, and I was able to see his cleft, and he was precious and wonderful and handsome in my eyes and a lot of other people's eyes. So it was all okay. It was, I guess it gave me that peace that I still needed, even after, I guess accepting the diagnosis and everything. I still had a little piece of me that still wanted to see him, and it gave me that last little bit to really move on from it and prepare. So I guess the next thing that I had worried about was, whenever he was born, breathing wise and all that stuff. So that was still in the back of my mind, but other than that, I was okay. And it's really hard accepting that in a pregnancy, accepting that there's something wrong with your child, and that there would be surgeries that he would have to go through, and the pain that would cause. And I just didn't want that. My other two babies, they was healthy and they were strong, and that's all I prayed for. I remember the night before my 20-week ultrasound, before I found out about his cleft, I prayed that he would be healthy and he would be strong, and that's exactly what the Lord gave me. The Lord gave me a healthy baby, a strong baby, I didn't realize how strong that he would be until I got that cleft diagnosis, and that just solidified God's plan for him. So I was ready for the ride, and whatever might come of it, and I knew that I wouldn't be doing it alone. But anyways, I had that appointment. I had I guess they called it a growth scan for him a month after his diagnosis, and I got to see his face, and I got to see how big he was, his features, and everything. It was any ultrasound after 20 weeks is kind of like a blessing, because they don't really do that many ultrasounds in pregnancy. So I was able to get lots of ultrasounds with him and see him a lot. So that was a blessing. I knew that I had a heart murmur, so I had to get a fetal echo on my son just to make sure that his heart was okay, and I guess it just gave him an even closer look than at the 20-week ultrasound. So we did that, and his heart looked fantastic. He was healthy, and he was strong, and all he had going on was just his cleft. So I had to get an echo done too, and I got a new cardiologist. I had never met her before, and I got my echo done and everything, and I went to her office. I found out that I have a bicuspid aortic valve, which the valve is supposed to be 3 leaflets, and mine is only 2. And I evidently was born with that, and before then, 29 years old, I didn't know about that. My parents, they didn't know about it, so we were kind of in the dark about that. And I also found out that I have a kink in my aorta, how your aorta is shaped kind of like a candy cane, and mine, it goes around and then it bends like this, and then it goes down. So that is the reason for my heart murmur, is the pressure that bend in my aorta causes, and it just causes a harsh murmur. It was so harsh that during my first pregnancy, I was all ready for my epidural, and anesthesiologist came in and listened to my heart. I had told him I had a heart murmur. He had listened to my heart, and he had asked me, details about my heart and everything, and all I knew was that it was a murmur, and that was about all the information that I could give him. I told him that it was narrowing, and was a little bit, that wasn't enough information for him to proceed with the epidural. So that was devastating and painful. I was induced all 3 times with my babies. But yeah, it was, my first labor was very hard and intense, and I didn't have an epidural. So in light of the new news that I found out about my heart, is that it is very risky not to have an epidural, because you don't want to put any pressure at all on your heart. So they were talking about assisted deliveries, like forceps deliveries or vacuum delivery, and I was not on board with that. I was like, no way. And I made sure every step of the way, like, I had to get a new OB because I was now considered high risk. So I had to go to the bigger hospital that I had my ultrasound at, and I got a new OB and everything, and I, told him, like, I want to, want to go as natural as I can. I don't want any assistance, because it scared me. I was like, I pushed 2 babies out, and I know how to do it, and I have confidence in myself. I want to try it before you, count me out. So he was all for that. And, yeah, I got an MRI during my pregnancy too, to look at my heart in even more detail. Because where she's seen the bend in my aorta, it was from a scan it was probably 6 years ago. It was a scan from 6 years ago. So she was wanting to see if anything changed from 6 years and being pregnant too. So I got an MRI, and I think it was basically the same results. It hadn't got any worse, which was good. And so she just kept a close eye on me throughout my pregnancy. And so I went to my appointments as usual. I just had a different OB. I was considered high risk now. Alright, so I went to upload my videos, and they were just too long. So I'm going to break my videos up into 3 parts. The video is all in one, so whenever I split them up, I'll have to do a reintroduction to all of the videos.